Good evening, everyone. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play announcer for this exhibition matchup on Vype Media. Here with me is our producer, Jarvis Johnson, and our QA, Les Cleary. Today's matchup is the Davis Falcons hosting versus the visitor of this game and Nimitz Cougars. Both teams are 4-2 overall. The only difference is that the Falcons are 3-0, 3-0, in district, which led to them being second in district. Meanwhile, Nimitz lost their district matchup against Westfield last week, who is first in their district and looking to bounce back from that loss. Going back to Davis, they are looking to continue on that undefeated run in district by going up against this really good Cougar squad. This is a 6A level district matchup for Nimitz High School. Under the leadership of head coach Cornelius Harmon, the Cougars have shown resilience, balance, and firepower. Harmon, who was named to the coaches 40 under 40 list earlier this year, has built an offense that can strike quickly through the air and grind it out on the ground when needed. Leading the charge is senior quarterback Albert Brown, who threw for more than 2,300 yards and 27 touchdowns last season. Brown's poise and arm talent makes him the anchor of Nimitz' offensive identity. His favorite target, senior wide receiver Malachi Augustus, who is a legitimate playmaker capable of changing the momentum in an instant. Augustus finished 2024 with 746 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns, plus several electric returns on special teams. On the defensive side, Nimitz boasts experience and toughness, particularly up front, with seniors Shannon Thomas and Kier Bedford leading the charge. Their ability to pressure the quarterback and control the line of scrimmage will be crucial against Davis' versatile offense. Meanwhile, the Davis Falcons, led by head coach Calvin Chatham, are coming off a strong 2024 season and have carried the momentum into this year. With a 3-0 district record, the Falcons are determined to establish themselves as a playoff caliber program. Their offense revolves around senior quarterback Devin Sims, a composed leader who brings dual threat ability to the field. Sims is complemented by senior running back Nicholas Trimble, a physical downhill runner capable of running down defenses. On the outside, Davis's receiving corps, including Michael Taylor, Justin Guthrie, and Cornell Trimble, add speed to the explosiveness to the passing game. Defensively, the Falcons pride themselves on physicality and discipline. Their secondary has shown the ability to contain big plays, and their defensive front excels at controlling the trenches. Under Chatham's guidance, Davis has developed an identity built on focus, attention to detail, and maturity. Both teams are evenly matched, and that's what makes this game so intriguing. The Cougars bring a dynamic passing attack and senior leadership, while the Falcons counter with balanced depth and a stingy defense. This game has major district implications. A win for Nimitz would even their district record and vault them into a potential tie for second place. For Davis, a victory would mean maintaining an undefeated district record and solidifying their playoff position. Both teams also share the same home field, making Dorn Stadium a neutral site in name only. The crowd energy will be split, and the momentum could swing fast based on big plays and turnovers. As you can see over here, and the Davis Falcons your Davis Falcons along with the Nimitz Cougars, we'll begin the expedition matchup in the next couple of minutes. So it seems it's going to be a homecoming game for the Davis Falcons. From the looks of it, it's looking like they're going to announce the homecoming winners this halftime. So let's see what will happen till then. And so it'll be the national anthem. Up in the next couple of minutes. Next, we're going to have the coin toss to determine who will receive this first half. Davis has five guys to accompany these four guys that will do the coin toss. So Nimitz will receive this first half. They have won the toss, and so they will start on offense. Meanwhile, the Falcons will start on defense. And so kickoff is underway for these 2-4-2 6A teams. And so they'll fake a kickoff, and they'll go back to their regular kickoff formation. And so it will be a squib kick. And it will be a fair catch by Nimitz. So starting off, Albert Brown will lead this offense for the Cougars against his ferocious Davis Falcons defense. So it would be 1st and 10, ball on the 21-yard line. Now, here we go for the first drive of the game. And number 99 for the Davis Falcons. Who is it? McKinley Blackshear with the tackle. So Braylon Booth was a ball carrier in that play. He got a couple yards on that. Got 2 yards on that play. So it's 2nd down. Brown with the completion. To again, Braylon Booth. And it looks like he got more than enough for the 1st down. And yes, it is a 1st down. Ball on the 39-yard line for the Cougars, and they'll give it back to Booth. And he got multiple yards on that carry. But it's not enough for the 1st down. So it'll be second down and 1. Close to the half line. A twist formation. He will give it back to Booth. And he will be taken down by number 24 for the Davis Falcons, who is Dakari Dunbar with the tackle. But with that completion made by Albert Brown is more than enough for the 1st down. So really slow start for the Davis Falcons. So the Cougars are in that trip formation again. He'll give it back to Booth. He got multiple yards on that carry once again. And it seems like they converted another 1st down. A Falcon defender taken down by Caden Gilbert with the tackle made for the Falcons. Another 1st down conversion for the Cougars. And in the looks of it, there's another trick formation. They'll give it to Booth again. And he'll be taken down by Gilbert once again. And so Booth got a couple of yards in that carry. He's on a roll on the first drive for the Nimitz Cougars. And so they're on a 28-yard line, close to the red zone for the Cougars. Doubles formation, and they'll give it to Booth once again, and he got a couple of yards. Is Bashar Miles, who's the second string running back for the Cougars. Go for it. And so they're still deciding right now whether they're going to go for it or call in the field goal team. And so it's looking like they're going for it on that gutsy 4th and 4 situation. Pistol formation. Albert Brown steps back, and he'll get it to number 1 for the Cougars, Malachi Augustus, the leading receiver for last season, on that easy completion by Albert Brown. And they'll complete this first drive with a touchdown. And they'll finish off this drive with the extra point to make it a 7-0 lead for the Cougars. And the kick is good. And so 7-0 for the Cougars. A great start for this offense for the Nimitz Cougars. And we will be back for more coverage later in this break. Back again for this coverage. And so a kickoff was made by the Cougars. And so Davis will receive. And so leading this offense for the Davis Falcons, Devin Sims will be the quarterback for this offense. And he'll give it to number 1 for the Falcons, who is Nicholas Tremble II. Tremble with the second. He got a couple yards in that carry. 5 yards to be exact. So 2nd and 5. Devin Brown will make, Devin Sims got multiple yards in that carry. Who's it? David Richardson with the multiple yard reception. completed by Devin Sims. So it's looking like it's going to be a shootout for both teams. After all, they're evenly matched teams. And so they give it to Trent Bell the second again for another multiple yard carry. And so it's not enough for the first down conversion. All right, so it's 2nd and 8. He'll give it to number 3 for the Davis Falcons. Who is it? Michael Taylor with the reception. And he got taken down by number 3 for the Cougars. Who is it? Jalen Jackson with the tackle. And so it will be 3rd and 3 for the Cougars. And so they're still discussing what our play call they should run. And so they're in this bracket formation. And there's multiple flags on that play. And Devin Sims got a couple yards on that play. But it's looking like it's going to be holding on the offense. And so there's 2 flags on the field. And so let's see. Yep, holding on. So number 62 for the Falcons, Maximus Jackson, will be called for the 10-yard penalty. So it's looking like they and so it's looking like they declined that holding penalty. So it will be 4th and 3, 4th and 6, excuse me, for the Cougars, the Falcons, excuse me, and they're in that wildcard formation, and there's a timeout on that play. And so the Cougars will call timeout, and we'll be back on that short break. Yep, we will be back in that short break. Excuse me, no break. A quick timeout for the Cougars. So that's their first timeout of this half. So the Falcons are looking to score to make up for that really slow start on defense. And so hopefully the defense can get it together on that next drive against when the Cougars offense goes up to the field. And so now it's 4th and 6 for the Falcons. Quarterback keeper for Sims. And it will be no good. And so turnover on downs for this offense. And now the Cougars offense will get back to the field. And number 8 for the Cougars, Brashad Miles got multiple yards on that carry. And so it's a gain of, it's looking like it's a gain of 7 yards. No, actually 6 yards to be exact. So 2nd and 4. And we give it back to Miles again. And he's on the 50-yard line, 40-yard line, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown. Touchdown, Nimitz Cougars. Brashad Miles on that multiple yard carry. A 60-yard touchdown run by Brashad Miles. And so the Cougars will bring in the field goal team to add in the extra point to make it a 14-0 lead. An amazing run by the Falcons. Excuse me, the Cougars. And it will be extra point good. And so now 14-0 Cougars, Davis 0. We'll be back for more coverage. This is Vype Media. Matthew Okama, your play-by-play announcer for this expedition game. Welcome back to this broadcast. This is Matthew Okama, your play-by-play announcer for this expedition game. So, a 14-0 start for the Cougars. It's looking like they're going to be extremely dominant, and Davis is having a very slow start, especially against this really bad defensive effort for the Falcons, allowing a 60-yard touchdown run by Brashad Miles. And hopefully the offense can get it going this quarter, because if not, then the game's looking like it's going to be in Nimitz control for the whole evening. And so it's going to be 1st and 10. Ball on the 35-yard line for the Davis Falcons. And so motion. They will give it to number 8 for the Davis Falcons. He's got a couple of yards on that carry. Who's it? David Richardson with the multiple yard run. And so they got a 1-yard gain on that carry. And so it would be 2nd and 9 for... Yep, 2nd and 9 for the Falcons. And he'll be stopped by number 31 number 34 for the Cougars. No, 45. Lathan Costley with the tackle made. And so it will be 3rd and 6. Let's see if the Cougars defense can get a stop and get off the field for another time. Well, so 3rd and 6 situation for the Falcons. Sims looks, and he'll complete it to number 5 for the Falcons. Yep, David Richardson with the completion, with the reception. A really nice completion by Devin Sims. And he'll be nope. And number 1 for Trimble got multiple yards on that carry. And it's looking like he made another first down conversion for 13 yards on that run for Trimble the second. And so the Falcons are playing hurry-up offense. And they'll give it to Trimble the second again. This time he's taken down by number 35 for the Cougars. Who is it? Jamari Bondi with the tackle. And so 2nd and 5 for the Falcons. And they're pretty much a couple yards away to the red zone. And they'll give it to Trimble the second again. And he'll maneuver multiple defenders, but he'll be taken down. Yep, a gain of 7 yards by Trimble the second. And a tackle by Elijah Taylor, who made the stop against Trimble the second of the Davis Falcons. And so it will be first and a first carry of the game. Who's it? Number 22 for the Davis Falcons. Broderick Robbins, who made his first carry of the game. The ball carrier. This is his first carry of the game. And there's a holding call made by the official. And so it's going to be a 10-yard penalty. The play will not count. So it will be 1st and 20 for the Falcons. So Darrell Haynes will be the quarterback, that wildcard quarterback, and he'll get multiple yards on that carry. Number 14, Darrell Haynes with the multiple yard carry as that Taysom Hill wildcat quarterback. So the tackler on that play, number 14 for the Cougars, made the play. And Robbins will get to almost to the 1 yard line away to making that touchdown. And that'll be the first quarter of the Expedition game. So the Cougars will be the Cougars are up by 13. Meanwhile, the Falcons hasn't scored yet. And so, actually, the Cougars actually missed the field goal attempt, so it will be 13-0 for the Cougars. And we'll be back for the second quarter coverage. This is Matthew Okama, your play-by-play announcer for Vype Media, and we'll be back. And so the start of the second quarter, the Falcons will make a touchdown carry. Yep, a touchdown for the Davis Falcons. They'll score in this first drive of the second quarter. And so they're bringing the field goal unit to complete the 7-point play. And so it's looking like they're going to do a trick free flicker play. Nope, it's a fake. And so they're going to go back to regular formation. And the kick is good. And so 13-7 for the Cougars. The Falcons. And we'll be back on the short break. More coverage in this second quarter. This is Matthew Okama for Vype Media, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back from the break. And so this looks that the Falcons are going to kick off, and the receiver, the kick returner, number 22 for the Cougars, Jaron Trekpenier, will be the one that made the fair catch. And so it will be 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Ball on the 34-yard line. So they're in pretty solid position for them to score. Almost on the half line. So it's 1st and 10. And they'll give it to Miles once again. And he got multiple yards on that play. And it seems like he converted another first down conversion. Yep, another first down conversion for the Cougars. And so it will be 1st and 10 for the Cougars. And it looks that they're on that pistol formation. Motion. And we give it to Miles once again. And he's on the backfield again on the 20-yard line. 10. Touchdown! Brashard Miles, his second touchdown of this game. A 46-yard touchdown for the Cougars. An amazing game by Brashard Miles with his second touchdown. He's probably almost 100 yards in total as far as rushing. And the Cougars will extend the lead. So yeah, the Cougars will complete the 7-point play. As you can see here, Brashard Miles with that 46-yard touchdown. An amazing drive once again by not just him, but the Cougars. They have been extremely dominant in the running game. But for the Falcons, it just seems like they're just can't get it going on defense, and for offense, they started the second quarter with a touchdown, and it seems like Davis could not stop Brashard Miles nor Braylon Booth on the backfield. And so hopefully they can actually get it going on offense, score another touchdown to make it a 7-point game. And kickoff is on for the Cougars. And so it will be a touchback. So a really important drive for the Falcons. They must score in this drive to make it a touchdown game. And so it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Ball on the 25-yard line. Devin Sims will lead this offense. And he'll give it to Trebell to second. And he'll be taken down by multiple defenders of Nimitz. And so number 25 for the Cougars, Devin Alfred with the tackle. A sophomore DB who made that play. And so it looks like he has lots of potential, and there's an injury on the field. And so we'll be back for more coverage. This is Matthew Wakama for Vype Media, play-by-play announcer for Vype Media, and we'll be back. Welcome back to this broadcast. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play announcer for Vype Media. And it is now 2nd and 2 for the Falcons after that multiple yard carry by Trimble to second. And they'll give it to Trimble to second again. And he'll be taken down by multiple defenders of the Cougars. And so number 50 for the Cougars, Cody Harper with the tackle. No, excuse me, number 15, Elijah Taylor with the tackle. And so it'll be a third down situation for the Falcons. They definitely need to score in this drive. And a pass deflection by number 16 for the Cougars. Romello Pierre with the great pass deflection. Ball intended for number 1 for the Davis Falcons, Nicholas Trimble II. And the Cougars will force a 3-and-out. And so the Falcons will bring in their punt team. And it will be not a very good punt by the Falcons. The ball is placed on the 49-yard line, excuse me. And so pretty much really good field position for the Cougars. And they're looking to score to make it a 20-point lead. And so it will be 1st and 10 for the Cougars. As you can see here, Brashad Miles is in the backfield. They're looking to score with him on the backfield. And number 4 for the Falcons, who's it? Caden Gilbert with the tackle on Rashad Miles. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Albert Brown. So, a timeout made by Davis. This is their second timeout of the half. And so we'll be back after the quick break. Welcome back to the broadcast. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play announcer for Vype Media. Jarvis Johnson is not with me right now, so I had to do both. And so Brown, with the completion made by number 1 for the Cougars, Malachi Augustus, the first option for this Cougars offense. Mind you, he was the leading receiver for the Cougars with 746 yards last season. And so they'll give it to Miles once again. And he'll be taken down by number 20 for the Davis Falcons. Oriah Jackson with the tackle. And so it will be a second down situation for the Cougars. So there's no yards on that carry. So it will be second and 10. Ball on the 40-yard line for the Cougars. Sims, and he'll give it to number 21. A great tackle by a Falcons defender, number 15, Jermaine Mosley, with that spectacular tackle. The receptionists for the Cougars, Michael Henry with the reception, but got blown up by Mosley. And so it will be a 2-yard reception for the Cougars. So it's 3rd and 8. They're looking to convert. Sims. And he'll overthrow it to his intended receiver, Malachi Augustus. And so it looks like they're going to either put the ball away or go for it. Oh, there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the officials. And so Davis will decline the penalty of that holding on the Cougars. And so the Cougars will punt the ball away. The punt returner, number 8 for the Falcons, Keith Lundy. Nope. It's number 0 for the Falcons. Kehidas Johnson will be the punt returner for Davis. And so there's another timeout made by Davis. No, Manice called a timeout. And so they have one more timeout left of the half. And so Davis is looking to make a play on that return. And so a really bad punt by the Cougars. And it gave Davis really good field position to score in this drive. And so the ball will be placed on the 38-yard line for the Falcons. 1st and 10, Falcons. And so they have, and they'll give it to Trimble again. What a hit. And by a Cougar defender, Trimble the second will get a couple of yards on that carry. But it's not enough for the first down conversion, so it will be a 2nd and 6 situation for the Falcons. Sims on the carry, and he'll not make the pass. Ball attended to number 2 for the Falcons. Anthony Jordan. No, excuse me. Justin Guitry was the intended receiver. And so it'll be already a 3rd and 6 situation for the Falcons. A really slow start for this drive. And so Sims will give it to number 13 on that first down conversion. Cortland Lee Pugh with the reception. Pass completed by Devin Sims. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for Davis. So they're in their trips formation. It's looking like they're going to run play action. And they'll give it to Trimble again. And he got multiple yards on that reception. So there's 5 minutes left of the second quarter. Another first down conversion for the Falcons. No, a second down convert. Did not complete the second down conversion. And an incomplete pass attended to number 13. Cortland Lee Pugh with the drop. And so it will be 3rd and 2 for the Falcons. A holding penalty by the defense. Offense. And so it will be a 10-yard penalty. So it will be 2nd and 12 for the Falcons. So a loss of mental mistakes for the Falcons. Got multiple holding penalties, mostly, for this Falcons team. And so it will be 2nd and 12. Motion. And he'll be the quarterback keeper, Devin Sims. And he got multiple yards on that carry. You can see here, showboating for another first down conversion for the Falcons. He evaded multiple defenders on that play. And you give it to Trimble again. And he got a couple yards on that carry. Number 15 for the Cougars. Elijah Taylor with the tackle. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. And Trimble evade multiple defenders, but he'll be later be taken down by number 10 for the Cougars. DeMarcus Johnson with the tackle. But a gain in 8, more than enough for the first down. An offside So the result of the play is a first down, an offside penalty by the Cougars defense. So right now the Falcons are getting it going, and number 22 will get a couple yards on that. No yards on that carry. A really great defensive effort on that play. Number 35 for the Cougars, Shannon Thomas, Jamari Bondi with the stop. And so check this. It's a 1 yard gain, but of course not enough for the first down conversion. So 2nd and 9 for the Davis Falcons. And he'll be mauled by number 34 for the Cougars. Who is it? Shannon Thomas with that exhilarating stop. And so, number 14, Darrell Haynes, the wildcard quarterback, was mauled by Thomas on that play. And so Sims will be back. And so quarterback keeper, and he'll give it to number 5 for the Falcons offense. David Richardson with that reception. But it's not enough for the first down conversion. So 4th and 11 for the Falcons. They're almost in the 2-minute warning. So there's a decline penalty call. So it'll be fourth and 11 for the Falcons. And they're looking to go for it. Sims. And he'll a great defensive pass deflection. Number 11 for the Cougars, Javon Hicks with the pass deflection attended to number 23 for the Davis Falcons, Roderick Robbins. And the defense forced a turnover on downs, and so it'll be Nimitz Cougars ball. And so it's 1st and 10. They're almost to the 2.2-minute warning. A great defensive outing for the Cougars. And Brown will complete the pass to number 5 for the Cougars, Caden Phillips. And so another timeout made by a 2-minute warning has just hit. And so we'll be back on that later note on that short break. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play announcer for Vype Media, and we'll be back. And we're back from the break, and so another rushing attack, a rushing play by the Cougars, and so another timeout by Davis. So a really dominant half for the Cougars. Especially for Bashar Miles. He's been so far the player of the game. He had that 60-yard touchdown in the first quarter, and then later in the quarter had a 46-yard touchdown to make it a 20-7 game. So far, he hasn't been as dominant in the second quarter as compared to the first quarter. So let's see what Nimitz can come up with. And Augustus with the multiple yard reception. And it'll be more than enough for the first down conversion. A gain of 9 yards on that reception by Malachi Augustus. And so, 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Miles on that carry. And he will be taken down by number 10 for the Davis Falcons, DeMarcus Johnson with the tackle. So an unnecessary roughness by number for DeMarcus Johnson. And so a 15-yard penalty by the Falcons. A very unnecessary move by my linebacker DeMarcus Johnson. And cost them 15 yards on this situation. And so Brown will give it to Miles. And he got multiple yards on that reception. A great evading move by Miles. And so Nimitz is looking to score on that 48-second situation. It's 1st and 10 for the Cougars. And Miles will be taken down. And there's a fumble! And Miles will recover it. So a really costly potential turnover. But luckily, it's been recovered by Miles. And so it'll be a 2nd down situation for the Cougars. So Sims will give it to Augustus again. And he will evade all the defenders and tiptoes for the touchdown. Malachi Augustus with the multiple yard reception touchdown to make it a 19-point game. And it will be a 20-point game once they complete the 1 point conversion. And the refs are discussing whether he made the touchdown or something else. Wow. A very controversial call, no call. You can see the coach for the Cougars is extremely upset. And I will be upset too by that no call, by that no touchdown call. And so it will be first half. It will be halftime. The first half has concluded. It's 20-7 Cougars, Falcons. And there will be a halftime performance by both Davis and Nimitz. And we'll be back after the break. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play commentator for Vype Media. And we'll be back. Welcome back to this broadcast between the Cougars and the Falcons going to the second half. The Cougars are up by 20. The Falcons are up by 7. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play announcer / commentator for Vype Media. And so the Falcons will receive in this second half. So right now, the Cougars are looking to tie in second place in district if they get this win against the undefeated district rival in the Falcons. And for number 3, the Michael Taylor was the kickoff returner for the Davis Falcons, and so he got a couple of yards on the return. And so far field position for the Davis Falcons is 1st and 10. So Sims will lead this offense, and he will give it to Michael Taylor with a completed reception. So he got a couple of yards on that reception. And so Elijah Payton was the tackler on that play. So 2nd and 4 for the Falcons. And he'll be taken down by number 15 for the Cougars, Elijah Taylor, with the stop. He's been the player of the game for the Cougars defense. And so it's 3rd and 4 for the Falcons. A really gusty dirt down situation. And he will get it to number 13, and an incredible pass deflection by number 11 once again, Devon Hicks. He had that game-breaking pass deflection earlier in that game, and now against the intended receiver for the Falcons, Cordell Lee Pugh, he'll make another game-breaking pass deflection, and so his efforts has led to a 3-and-out for the Falcons, and so the Falcons will punt the ball away. The punt returner for the Cougars will be Augustus, and he will fair catch that. And so the ball will be placed on the 25-yard line. The Cougars have really good field position, and so they're looking to take advantage to this field position, this first drive in this second half. Albert Brown will hand the ball off to, he got absolutely manhandled by multiple Davis defenders. The ball carrier, Dakari Franklin, a sophomore really young sophomore for the Cougars. And so it'll be 2nd and 13. Brown. He'll give it to Augustus again with an incredible throw by Albert Brown. The completed reception to his star receiver, Malachi Augustus. And he's looking like Augustus individually is looking like a D1 wideout. If I can project his rating, he'd probably be a 3-star or 4-star recruit. And there's multiple penalties on the field. It's against the Davis Falcons. Not only is it an offside penalty, but in NFL terms, it's a neutral zone infraction, which counts for another 5-yard penalty. And so the Cougars are looking to score in that drive. And so DeCovery Franklin got a couple of yards on that ball carry. And so he got a couple of yards on that carry. So it'll be another first down conversion for the Cougars. And so Franklin will carry it once again. This time he put up another multiple yard carry. It gained him 9 yards on that play. And so 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Excuse me, the Cougars. And Brown will give it back to Franklin. And a monstrous play by number 99 for the Falcons. Who is it? McKinley Blackshear with that dominant tackle against Franklin. And so it'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Cougars. All they really need is a run for them to convert the first down. And they just did. And Franklin will keep on going for another touchdown. DeCovery Franklin with his first touchdown of this drive. And so they'll extend the lead by 19 points. And it could extend it by 20 if they complete the extra point conversion. What an incredible game by the Cougars. They have looked like a legitimate state playoff team so far in this game, especially against the undefeated district Davis Falcons. And so it's a 27-7 lead, 7 game. We'll be right back for more covers in this game. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play commentator for this exposition game for Vype Media, and we'll be back. Welcome back to the podcast. Matthew will come up back again for more coverage of this game. And so the Cougars will kick it off. And Michael Taylor will be another. Nope, it's not Michael Taylor. It's number 5. David Richardson was the kick returner on that situation. He got a couple of yards on that carry. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Davis Falcons. Ball on the 30-yard line. And so Devin Sims. Hopefully Devin Sims can get it going on this drive if the coaches can set him up perfectly. Snap. An RBO play by number 1 for the Cougars. For the Falcons. Nicholas Tremble the second got a couple of yards on that reception, on that carry. And so the Falcons got a couple of yards on that carry. So 2nd and 4. He motions Richardson. And Trambell got a couple of yards on that carry, but he got stopped by number 56 for the Cougars. Christopher Doty with the tackle. And so it's a gain of 3. And so they're 1 yard away for making another first down conversion. And so they're pretty much in pretty good field position to make that conversion. And Trambell bakes it in for the first down conversion. Another first down conversion by Nicholas Trambell II. And Sims will give it to Taylor. And he's on the 50-yard line. And he got multiple yards on that carry. He's taken down by number 35 for the Cougars. Jabari Bondi with the tackle to stop that potential touchdown play. And so Sims will throw to Taylor, and no call. A really good no call by the officials. The intended receiver, David Richardson. Another great coverage by number 11 for the Cougars, Javon Hicks, with another great coverage play. And so it's 2nd and 10 for the Falcons. Trembell got multiple yards on that carry, but it's short yardage. Tackled by a Cougar defender, Javian Wright was the tackler on that play. And so that makes it a third and 9. And so it's looking like they're in this bunch formation. Sims identifies pressure, and he'll almost throw A pick made by number 3 for the Cougars, Jalen Jackson, with the pick. And there's a flag on the field. Penalty is declined. And so Devin Sims with his first interception. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, an exceptional interception play by Jalen Jackson. And that will get the ball back for the Cougars. So it's 1st and 10, ball on the 20-yard line for the Cougars. Their last drive ended up with a touchdown. They hopefully can extend the lead. Jakari Jackson has invaded multiple defenders, and based on the last drive he had, it looks like he has great potential to be a D1 running back. He has the size, the speed, the elusiveness. I mean, he got it all in just this first drive in this game. And so he got a couple of yards on that carry, so 2nd and 3. Brown will give it back to Jackson again. He got multiple yards once again. Dakari Jackson on that ball carry. Dakari Franklin with that carry. And so his efforts converted the first down for the Cougars. Ball is now placed on the 38-yard line. Brown will snap. He will give it back to Franklin once again. And Franklin will go for another multiple-yard carry. And he won't be taken down. And a 20-yard carry by Dakari Franklin. And he's been on the roll. These running backs, Brashard Miles, and now Dakari Franklin, has been torching this Davis Falcons run defense. And so now it's 1st and 10, almost at the red zone. And there's a penalty on the play. This time it's the offense called for the holding penalty. And so the Falcons will call a timeout. And so we will be back after this short break. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play commentator for Vype Media, and we will be right back. Welcome back to this broadcast after this break. This is Matthew Okama, your play-by-play commentator for Vype Media. Right now is a 27-7 lead. 27-7 game. The Cougars are leading by 20. Right now their first is now 1st and 10 for the Cougars. And another offside penalty by this Falcons defense. Oh my goodness, they've been really struggling throughout this second half. First of all, they have been getting torched in the run by Brashard Miles, and now sophomore running back Dakari Franklin And now they're committing really mental mistakes. And number 7 for the Cougars, Braylon Booth will be back again after making multiple yards. He'll be back again after being the first since the first quarter. So the Cougar got multiple running backs playing. They got Franklin, Miles, and now Booth exchanging touches with the football. And Booth got multiple yards for that carry. Caden Gilbert will be the tackler on that play. And so it will be 2nd and 8 for the Cougars. Albert Brown. And a great tackle by number 10, DeMarcus Johnson, with that tackle made against Braylon Booth. And so it will be 3rd and 6 for the Cougars. And so now the Cougars have been converting in their 3rd down conversions mostly. And they'll convert once again, this time to Malachi Augustus, and he will go in for another touchdown. Can you believe it, by the Nimitz Cougars? And it seems like he didn't make the touchdown. And so they marked him short for the touchdown. And the officials are discussing with the coach. And they're arguing to see if there is a touchdown. So, Nimitz, the Cougars will call their first timeout, and so we'll take a short break after this timeout. You are listening to Vype Media. This is Matthew Okama, your play-by-play commentator in this game, and we'll be back. Welcome back to this broadcast here tonight. And Brown will walk in for the touchdown to make it a 26-point lead for the Cougars. They have been absolutely dominant. In the beginning, it's looking like it's going to be an even matchup between both of these 4-2 record teams. But so far, the Cougars have looked like the better team so far in this game. And the kick is good. And so now is 34-7 for the Cougars. And so we will take a short break in this blowout game. So we will take another short break. This is Matthew Okama, your play-by-play commentator, and we will be back after this break. Welcome back to this broadcast. This is Matthew Okama, your play-by-play commentator. There's 1:05 left of the third quarter, and it's looking like the Cougars are going to walk away with a dominating win against this Falcons team that are undefeated in district. And so the return man for the Falcons, Nicholas Trimble II, was the punt returner in this drive. And so Trimble II got 10 yards on that return. And so it will be first and 10 for the Falcons. Ball on the 14-yard line. And so it seems they're in a empty formation for Davis. What are they cooking with this play call now? A really bad snap, and it will be second and 10 for the Falcons. They have been really lackluster offensively and defensively throughout this game, which is really uncharacteristic seeing how dominant they were in the last couple of games throughout this season. A completed pass by Sims, the attended receiver, on that reception was David Richardson on that reception. So he got a couple yards on that reception. And that is the end of the third quarter. The Cougars are looking extremely confident going into the fourth quarter. And it is looking like they're going to continue that dominant run going to the fourth quarter. And so we'll take a short break in this matter. This is Matthew Okama, your play-by-play commentator for Vype Media, and we'll be back. Welcome back to this broadcast between the Nimitz Cougars versus the Davis Falcons. And so right now the Falcons are 3rd and 9 Simmons will face pressure, and he will evade multiple defenders, but he will be taken down by number 56 with a sack for the Cougars. Christopher Doty with the sack. And with that play, the Cougars will force another 3 and out. And so the punter, Jalen Jackson, will be the punter, punting for the Falcons. Augustus will be the punt returner. A great evading move, and he will be taken down by multiple defenders. There's a flag on the field. Let's see what it is. It must be an illegal block on a defender. Oh, so there's wow. An unsportsmanlike conduct by number 34 for the Cougars. Who is it? Shannon Thomas with the unnecessary unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called against him. And so the Cougars will be taken back by 15 yards. But even with that penalty, they're still in really good position for them to score. Near the 50-yard line, 1st and 10. They're trying to get the Falcons to jump off sides. And number 7 for the Cougars, Braylon Booth, will get a couple of yards on that carry. And so it will be second. It will be second down and 7 for the Cougars. So far, the player of the game is Rashard Miles for this team. An amazing performance just in the first half. And a really hard hit by number 8 by the Davis Falcons. Despite that, number 7, Braylon Booth, got a couple of yards on that run. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. And so, it's 4th and 1. And there's a flag on the field. Let's see who it is. Oh my goodness. Another unsportsmanlike penalty, this time against the Falcons. Number 14, Daryl Haynes will be the guy called for that penalty. And so both teams have to be a lot more composed and especially more disciplined here and out. Because I know the coaches are going to really get on their case once they watch the film for both teams I'm talking about. And Dakari Franklin will get multiple yards in that carry. And he'll be taken down by multiple defenders after evading multiple defenders. And so it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Cougars. Brown will snap. He'll give it to Franklin. And he got a couple of yards, was short. So that'll make it a 3rd. So number 90, Kyle Lawrence, will make that tackle on a no gain. And so it will be 3rd and 7 for the Cougars. And he'll give it to Augustus once again, but he'll be dragged by number 21 for the Falcons, Edward Patrick Lyles, with the stop. And so that reception will not be enough for the Cougars to convert. So it will be 4th and 4 for the Cougars, and they're discussing whether to kick a field goal or go for it. And so they'll tend to go for it. And Franklin will make it all the way to the 1 yard line. And they're a yard away from going up 40 to truly make it a blowout game. An extremely dominant performance by this Nimitz Cougars running attack, and most especially Malachi Augustus with his effort on the receiving game. And so multiple defenders will stop Dakari Franklin, the sophomore running back. There's about 5 minutes left to play in this game. Once Nimitz will score that touchdown, it'll be a really impossible game for Davis to come back from. And so Franklin didn't have that many yards to gain on that play. And so he will sub out and bring in Braylon Booth. And give it to Booth. And he'll taking in for another touchdown to make it 40 points of this evening. Right now, they're up by 33 points and potentially 34 if they complete the extra point conversion. And a supremely dominant game by the Cougars. Braylon Booth, his first touchdown of this evening. And so the Cougars will complete the 1-point play. An incredible play and game by the Cougars. And they actually, no, it's actually a no good on the Cougars on the 1-point play. And so, well, it still is a 40-7 game by and the Cougars are up by 33 points going into the half. So all three running backs for the Cougars, Rashard Miles, have 2 rushing touchdowns, along with Dakari Franklin and now Braylon Booth. Each one of them have a touchdown in this game, along with Malachi Augustus, which it didn't really count because of the ref's decision, questionable decision, I might add. And so kicking off for the Cougars. Number 13 for the Falcons. Cortland Lee Pugh will make the fair catch. And so it will be 1st and 10 for the Falcons. A really rough game for Devin Sims. And so there's a penalty on that kickoff. And it's against this Cougars. Against the Cougars. And so it'll give the Falcons easier field position. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. And number 22 got multiple yards on that first down conversion. A really big gain for a multiple yard gain by Bajaric Robbins with that carry. And Robbins will and the play will be canceled. And so there's actually a timeout called by the Cougars. And so we'll be back after a short break. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play commentator for Vype Media, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to this broadcast. And there is a false start called on the offense. It's probably a lineman that committed a false start penalty. And so it'll be a 5-yard penalty for the Falcons. It's not really that big of a penalty. 1st and 15 for the Falcons. And there's a fumble, and the Cougars will get the ball back. Darren Haynes with the ball carrier, but he was stripped by this ferocious Cougar defense. And so the ball was recovered by the Cougars. And it's looking like they're going to have the ball for the rest of the remainder of the game. Unless the Falcons somehow, some way, make a play by a pick, either a pick or a fumble or turnover or downs. It's looking like the Cougars are going to run the clock down for the remainder of the game. So right now it's 1st and 10, ball on the 27-yard line for the Cougars. And there's a flag on the play. So there's a false start on Malachi Augustus, which is really rare for a receiver to make a false start, commit a false start penalty. So it will be 1st and 15. They brought in their second unit for the Cougars. And Dakari Franklin got no yards in that game. DeMarcus Johnson will make a play against Dakari Franklin. And so with this blowout win, it will improve the Cougars' district record to 3-1. Meanwhile, the Falcons will finish the game with their first loss in district play. And hopefully they can turn around in this next expedition game they'll play. And number 12 for the Cougars, Edwin Brown, the sophomore quarterback, got a big gain to make it a first down conversion. And so a 2-minute warning. For the Cougars. And so we will take a short break in this broadcast. The Cougars 40, Falcons 7. This is Matthew Okama, your Vype Media play-by-play commentator, and we will be back. Welcome back in this broadcast. This is Matthew Wakama, your play-by-play commentator. 2 minutes left of the fourth quarter. Brown will snap. He will give it to Franklin again, and he will be taken down by multiple Davis defenders. Initiated by number 15 for the Falcons, Jermaine Mosley with the tackle. And so Franklin got a couple of yards on that carry. And so it will be 2nd and 8. Second and 7. Excuse me. He got 3 yards on that carry. And so 2nd and 7 for the Cougars. And there's little to no gain on that carry by Franklin, sophomore running back. And so multiple Falcon fans are leaving the building in this college-like stadium that they built over here, which is amazing, by the way. I just want to add that here. And Brown will evade multiple defenders, but he'll slide through. I'm guessing Albert Brown and Edwin Brown are brothers. They look the same, though, so. Well, they don't really look the same, but they sound like brothers. But now, the game is over. The Cougars will finish this game scoring 40 points. Rashard Miles was the player of the game. Meanwhile, the Falcons score a measly 7 points in this game to make it their first loss of district play. And so right now the Cougars are fighting for second place in their district, improving their record to 5-2. Meanwhile, the Falcons move to 4-3 in this season. And so hopefully they can make it up this next expedition game in their district game, in their district round of the season. And so an incredibly dominant game by the Nimitz Cougars. And so we appreciate the you-tuning to this broadcast between the Nimitz Cougars versus the Davis Falcons. Unfortunately, Jarvis Johnson did not make it in to produce this game. And so that is it. You're tuning into Vype Media via YouTube. This is Matthew Okama, your play-by-play commentator. So long and good night.